today is really about exploring roles outside of who you currently are right now. Okay? So I also don't want to define roles too much, because something that I strongly believe in is that we try to tunnel vision, we try to box in things to be right. And what I know about women in particular is that there are 100 different million ways that you can see a particular situation, and every single one of them is right for you. So however you define the word role is entirely up to you. For me, the way that I define role is the expectations that others have on me and the expectations that I put on myself within the identity. Okay, so as a mum, it is expected that I pick up the pieces when people fall down. That's an expectation that others had on me that I also bought into, so I took on that responsibility. There's an expectation that you'll save your kids because, we born them, we should save them and look after them. But the reality is, and this, again, I know this is going to be a very divisive, what's the word? It could be an opinion that divides, but my opinion, particularly based on 2024, is that although, yes, I birthed my son, I am not responsible for the man that he becomes. I've done the best that I can to instill values and morals and ethics into him. At 17 years old now, the influence that I have in that respect is minimal, because he has his own influences now. He has his own mind, and he will make the decisions that he wants to make. That expectation to save them is not something that I believe in, and this is largely why I struggled so much last year, because logically I'm like, no, it's not my job. He's made these choices. He has to live the consequences, and if that means he sleeps out on the street for one night, then so be it. That's a lesson he has to learn. But then that damn mum fucking pull would go, oh, but he's your baby boy. And so that's where the conflict would really keep me up at night, because I wanted one thing, but my heart was saying another thing, and I had to get the two to reconcile. And it's that reconciliation of the two that I'm still working through. It's a reconciliation that I hope I can also help you with, because I know from all of the conversations that I've had with mums, that's the struggle that we always have. I know one thing, but my heart is telling me another thing, and how do I find happy medium ground in the middle? Thankfully, at the moment, touch wood, we almost have that. Kind of. We're a hell of a lot further now than what we were a couple of months ago anyway. So the way that I define my roles is the expectations that I know others have on me and the expectations that I have of me in that space. I also encourage you to look beyond the role of mum, though, because there is the mum, there is the wife or partner role, there is the daughter-in-law, the friend, the family member. All of those expectations from all of those people in your worlds create the role of who you see yourself as now. So the first step that you're going to do in today's challenge is to explore those family roles and what they mean to you, how you define the family roles that make up who you are. You're then going to step outside of the home and start to explore outside of the home. Now, from that perspective, I also include professional roles, professional expectations, professional desires even. If you are an ambitious woman who wants more out of life, then there's going to be roles outside of the family role that contribute to who you are. So be sure to jot that stuff down as well. Then the third space is going to allow you to get a little bit creative and start to think, if none of those roles existed, if you could go back in time and you would just Brie, who would you be? What would that look like? What would you do? How would you fill your time up? If there were no expectations of the label of everything that you should be, who would you be? And tap back into that. Now, some of these questions, the answers aren't going to immediately come to you. So I implore you to do this exercise in quiet and continue to ask yourself the same question. So if you look at it and go, well, I don't know, ask yourself that question again. If I could step outside of all these roles for just one day, what would I be? Who would I be? What would I do? And then just sit quietly and listen, because when you listen, That's when your inner truth will come out. And I know that sounds a little bit woo-woo, but you know that I'm talking truth, right? Because we do it all the time anyway. So listen, what do my family roles mean? What are the expectation of family roles? What does that mean to me? Listen, jot it down. The roles outside of being a mum, outside of the home, what does that mean? Listen. If I could put all that to the side, what would I do? Who would I be? Listen to that little inner voice inside of you, because that's the voice that we're trying to give volume to. Okay? And then the last question is a reflection question on what you've discovered based on that little activity. Okay? Once you've done that, I challenge you to then share one role that you feel stuck in and how it's impacted your sense of self and what you plan to do on it. You can either share that in this Facebook community. It's a safe space. Please know, for everyone, because I know everyone has the same fear, and that is someone's going to judge them or criticize them. I will not tolerate any level of judgment in this group whatsoever. So if I catch wind that someone is being vulnerable and open and honest and they're sharing themselves in this page, and someone belittles them or makes them question themselves or judges them, that person will be out. Okay, because this must, in order for this community to work the way that I envision it working, it must be a safe space where we can all speak freely, knowing that it remains confidential and knowing that it is met without judgment. So you will be welcome to share what you learn from this challenge in the Facebook group itself, or if you'd prefer, the community on nas.io is also, there's a feed there that you can share. And if you share in that space, the same rules apply. There'll be no judgment tolerated. However, that will be for only the people that have already signed up. Okay, so it's going to be a little bit more private of a space if you want to share there. It's up to you, but the reason that I challenge you to publicly share what you have gained from each day's activities is because that is sending your unconscious mind a very strong message that you are serious about finding your voice beyond just being mum. Okay? Sometimes finding the courage to speak your truth, that is what tells your unconscious mind that this is different. I'm not just, it's not like one of those New Year fads where we go, I'm going to lose 10 kilos this year and I'm going to walk every day, and you get to, January 2nd and you haven't done it. The reason that we don't do things is because we haven't made ourselves accountable. A challenge works best when you hold yourself accountable and you put yourself outside of the comfort zone and you go all in. So that's what I would encourage you to do. Go all in with these activities.